What's up, guys? George back again to do another episode of Nerd Alert. This one is episode 11. It's been a few months since I did episode 10. Haven't really gotten a lot of stuff over the last couple months as far as toys and comics go. But I did pick up some things over the last month or so that I figured I'd show in this one. First up, on clearance, I got this at GameStop, of all places, when I took my son there. And that's the Black Series Star Wars Kylo Ren. It was like $7, down from $20. I like the Black Series ones. There's more detail to the figures than the regular series, like the regular action figures. I think this is the second or third one I picked up figure wise. I have a couple ships that I got for cheap from the first movie, but I thought this was pretty cool. They had a few other ones there that weren't him. I forget the characters. They might have had Ray and somebody else, but I just wasn't interested in them. Thought this was cool for $7, so I picked that up to add to the toy shelf. So yeah, it's pretty killer looking, I thought. I did hit the comic shop a couple weeks ago, which I hadn't been there in about 5-6 months, maybe something like that. I also picked up a few things at like Barnes and Noble and stuff, some horror magazines. What else? I think that's about it. I got these next three things I picked up at a Goodwill. These were 50 cents each. I just got these to add. I'm not getting back into buying these at all, unless it's something really cool horror based, but I picked up 3 VHS tapes. There's the Evil Dead. I'm not sure if this is the original release of this, but it is the Anchor Bay release of the first Evil Dead film. Again, that was only 50 cents. Thought that was cool artwork on there. I picked up The Thing just because I love this movie. John Carpenter's The Thing. And finally, one of my favorite films, which I don't know if this is on Blu-ray. I don't think it is. This thing's like dead mint. It's on Vestron Video. I absolutely love this film. It's from 1979, and that's The Changeling with George C. Scott. It's a haunted house film. Really killer, creepy haunted house film. It might be on DVD. I can't remember. I think I might have it on DVD, but this old Vestron Video stuff's really tough to find out in the wild, but I picked this up. I'm glad I did. That'll go on the shelf, basically the toy shelf with everything else. I don't have many VHS. I think I have maybe 20 total, because I kept all my Halloween and Friday the 13th ones from when I was younger, but I got rid of everything else. I didn't have that much as far as horror goes, but happy to get those for, I think it was $1 for all 3 of those. I think it was buy 3 for $1 or something like that. These two I picked up. I'm fighting a cold. I've been fighting a cold for a week, or else I would have done these videos earlier, but I picked up these 2 DVDs at Goodwill for $1 each. They were in fantastic. One was sealed, actually, and the other one was in mint. This is 10 movie original cult classics. This has Maniac, Carnival Souls, The Bat, Night of the Living Dead, Little Shop of Horrors, House on a Haunted Hill, Piranha, Last Man on Earth, just from classic black and white films. It's one of those Echo Bridge, I think. Yeah, Echo Bridge releases, so for $1, 10 classic films. I like probably, I think 6 or 7 of these I thought were really good. The other ones were just okay. They weren't bad, but some older films there. And 10 film classic horror collection. Same Echo Bridge. This one has the Killer Shrews, Lady Frankenstein, The Ape, Dead Men Walk, Werewolf in Girls Dormitory. I haven't watched anything on here yet, but figure for 10 movies for $1. Sure. Now on to some books and magazines. Well, magazines really. The 2 latest issue of The Creeps are out. This is issue 8. I didn't show this last time. Really killer. I love that art on that. Issue 8. Classic black and white comic. Kind of like creepy and eerie if you don't know. And issue 9 just came out. So there's that one. Some fantastic stories in this one. Both of them. Actually, every issue of this. They're up to issue 9 now, which is fantastic. Barnes & Noble has these. I don't know, in your area it should, but I know every Barnes & Noble is different. But if you like the classic creepy and eerie and all those classic magazine style sized adult horror comics, you'll like this one. Picked up the last 2 issues of Videoscope. Issue 100, which is an oversized issue for their anniversary, and the brand new issue 101. Basically a cult horror and animation, indie exploitation film magazine. Really killer. Some great interviews in here. Black and white, everything in the inside, like newsprint. Great magazine though. They do like close to 100 reviews every issue. Comes out quarterly, so the brand new one's out now. Like I said, some killer ads in there for some bizarre films. I love that magazine. And the 2 newest issues of Scary Monsters. There's issue 102 with the creature on the front. Cool old school monster mag. Goes through all kinds of stuff. I love this magazine. I always have. Been a fan of this magazine for about 20 years now. Sells all the back issues in the back. There's a Gene Wilder thing in there. And issue 103 just came out last week. Monster, what does it say? Battle of the Monster Makers. There was a cool article in here all about the Dr. Frankensteins and all the monster makers. Really killer. Really well put together. Well written. This one's like 146 pages. Definitely check this out. It's on shelves now at Barnes & Noble. And the latest issue of Horror Hound has the Underworld Blood Wars retrospect in it. My favorite horror magazine by far, now that Fangoria's print is gone anyway. I still get Rue Morgue. There's toys, all kinds of shit in here. Those Predators are killer. So anyway, that is out now as well. So definitely check out the brand new issue of Horror Hound. This is issue number 63. I'm only missing 2 issues. I've been following this magazine since I think issue 5. I'm missing issue 3, I think. And I might be missing 6. But I have every other issue. The issue 3, I think, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 issue, which I think that's why it's out of print. It went out of print fast. And then lastly, I went to the comic shop, picked up a few new creepies that I didn't have that they got. They got a bunch of new ones in. They're all higher end though. They're all in really good shape, so of course they're pricey. I didn't go for the pricey ones, obviously, but I did pick up issue number 142. It's a 100-page issue. Picked up number 8, which is an early issue from the, I want to say it's 1965 maybe. Killer cover. And issue number 20. So these are the cheap ones. These are all like $4 or $5 a piece. Some of the more expensive ones that were in better shape, which I think these are all in great shape, but the ones that were like mint were in the $20 to $30 to $40 range. So I'm not paying that much for them. These are the type of things if I see out at a flea market or something for cheap, I'll pick up. But that's a cool looking monster on there. Then I picked up these two. These were $1 each. I never heard of these. These are kind of in that same vein as Creepy, but these were made in the late 80s. Monsters Attack. That's issue number 1 and issue number 2 with Freddy on the cover. These are alright, but they were $1 each, so I figured I'd add them to the collection. And then lastly, the comic books I picked up. One I picked up just to read to see how it was. I didn't like it at all. It was just okay. They changed the art on everything. And that's the new Flintstones issue number 1. There's Fred and Wilma. I don't know. I like the classic Flintstones. I don't know why they're trying to, you know, reboot something that's classic like that. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. I don't remember even seeing Barney in here. Betty looks, I don't know, it's kind of silly, I guess. I don't know where Barney is. Who knows? But that was just okay. Richard Corbin's Shadow of the Grave, number 1. On Dark Horse. I just picked this up because I like the artwork on it. It's pretty cool. Inner art. Kind of has that creepy, eerie feeling. You know, like the old magazines. It's printed on old school newsprint like the old comics were. Issue! Ugh. Whew. That came out of nowhere. Excuse me. But anyway, I'll probably edit that. Fuck it, I'll leave it in. So there you go, Grave of Horrors. On the back, pretty killer. So I might continue with this one. We'll see if I can find this. Like I said, this is issue number 1, and I believe it is like a yeah, it's a continuing story. So we'll see. I also picked up the last 5 issues of Haunted Horror that I didn't have yet. I think I have pretty much every issue of this run too. This takes classic horror comics, just reprints them. Here's issue 21. you know, like I said, it's got the old, basically old reprints from the 50s, from the non-coded comic code era. So there's 21, 22, which is the Eerie tribute, it says. Some cool stuff in there. Number 23. There's going to be a new one called Devil Tales, I guess. That might be a book, though. Number 24. Pretty cool. Weird cover. The eyeball. And number 25. And this is the Horrors of It All special, which I think they've taken reprints from that magazine. Really cool. I love reading these old ones. Some of them are really good. Some of them are, you know, just okay. But I think it's a cool that Haunted Horrors reprinting all these. Because a lot of these old 50s horror magazine or comics, you know, when you find them, they're a couple $100 each. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that is it for this episode of Nerd Alert. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for subscribing. Click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And also, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now for more updates and more Nerd Alerts in the future. I'll talk to y'all real soon. Stay tuned for a new LP update. There'll be a CD update as well at some point. And I guess that's it. So we'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.